thoroughly enjoyed it. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Um, Learned a lot about Rotary in that year, and I guess by the time I got to the end of the year, I probably would have made a heck of a good president. I think being of service is an important phrase that it's been a major part of my life, being of service. So I was spent 40 years in commercial and public broadcasting, and really enjoyed it. I had a call from Chuck Mann, who said we need to put together a list of people who we can put up as president for the coming years, and could we include your name on it? And I said, no, 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 I'm just a little small guy out here. I'm not a major industrialist. You don't want to put me on there. Well, we need to put some people's names on there, and would you just let us do that? And I said, provided that you can guarantee to me that I won't be selected. And he said, well, you can't guarantee anything, but I do appreciate it, and if you could do that, it would be great. And the next phone call was, guess what? You've been elected. So that's how I became president. But and being president's it's quite a promotion within the club itself, because it recognizes your abilities, and it recognizes that you have at least some leadership traits. And so I kind of got shoveled, buttonholed into it, you might say, and it was a good thing. It was a very good thing. During my year as president, I think the most meaningful thing that was accomplished was probably the Clint Mock book. I had asked Clint. Clint had done a couple of times, had done some history talks for the club. I had joined in '83. I was president in 2003, 2004. So I had a chance to get to know Clint and really enjoyed his telling of tales of Toledo. And so I said to Clint, how about doing 5 minutes, maybe every other meeting, something like that, where you talk about Toledo's history, because I know it's really an interesting history, and Toledo's been involved in so many things: prohibition, criminal elements, and all of that business. And would you do that? Well, and he said, yes, I'll do that. So Clint, on a yellow pad, wrote down, I think we started out, he ran about 5 minutes. The next time he did it, it ran a little bit longer. By the time we got to the end of the year, I think Clint was closing in on 15 minutes. We had some folks who said this is far too long, but yet we all enjoyed it. So that led to the publication of the book, and that was probably the biggest thing we did that year that was so different from what had been done previously. Thank goodness my family was very supportive of what I was doing. When I first became president, I was talking to Chuck Stocking one day, and Chuck said, well, one of the things you've got to really understand, that being president of Rotary is almost a full-time job if you're going to do it right. And doing it right, let me define that. In my mind, doing it right is being involved, working to support all the committees, working to work with of course, the board and the executive committee in getting many of the administrative things done, as well as looking at the challenges that we were being presented by Rotary International. The family supported me on that, thank goodness. My wife was really helped pick up the slack and so forth, and in our business. And without her, it would not have functioned. During the year, we became more aware of the need for more visualization. Um, Prior to my presidency, we'd had some PowerPoints and we'd had um, the screen up, and we had the projector, the Kodak projector, slideshow, that sort of thing. But we became more aware of the fact that if we were going to appeal to young people, membership building, we needed to be more actively visual, be more competitive with television. And so the doors during my year, we started to open those doors to start the TRAB unit, Toledo Rotary Audio Visual Production Unit, and proceeded from that point forward to do just that. Real change there, real change, because most clubs, even to this day, it's a stand-up person, comes in, talks 30 minutes at the lectern, sits down, answers questions, etc., doing that sort of thing. And we were talking a major change to becoming more active. And in some ways, we were forced to do that too, because our speakers, our presenters, were using more PowerPoints and more visuals and more slides and that sort of thing. So we started that trip, that move toward becoming active with video and audio. So that opened up during that year. Greatest challenge during my presidency was finding the time to do everything I wanted to do. It wasn't necessarily what I had to do, but what I wanted to do. I found that it was the greatest stretch in terms of learning, in terms of new knowledge, getting to know people I had not known before. It was just having the time to do it. And the thing about Rotary, too, was the fact that all the members seemed to be welcoming that kind of connection. Word fellowship is very important in Rotary, and I think it's something that we oftentimes forget, that the fellowship that we have that goes on before a meeting, perhaps in many instances is as important as the meeting itself. And we like to say that people attend a Monday meeting for the program, but I would say they also attend it for the fellowship, getting to know folks of like mind. It's very important and very rewarding. Get to know everybody you can in the club. Form a friendship with as many folks as you can, and realize the more involved you are in the club, the more you take home, the more you add to, let's say, add to your basket. A lot of good things. You can become a different person by being a Rotarian and seeing things in a whole different light. Go back to that word, that phrase, being of service. I think that's one of the things that we're going to learn. I know as young people, we're struggling to build our businesses and become leaders and make a living and have some money in the bank. And I think when you get to Rotary and you become a Rotarian, that's still important. You got to have that to exist. But it's important that you understand service to the community. Service to the community pays off. It pays off somewhere down in here, down in the heart, down in the soul. And get involved. Get involved. Many committees as you can, as much time as you can. Get involved. The more you put in, the more you get back. Met a lot of people at Rotary. Met a lot of people that were off my path, that weren't in my trajectory. I think that probably Dick Anderson would have been somebody that I would never have met otherwise. It just, I think I would never met Dick, and the relationship with Mr. Anderson was unbelievable. What a nice, kind, considerate, community involved individual the Andersons are. And I think getting to know Dick and Fran was just a measure of the kind of thing that you find at Rotary that you probably don't find elsewhere.